Those records on the radio spinning constantly. We don't have the videos spinning constantly. People seem to think you fell off, you dead and all that. But really, man, I'm just in the...
I've said this before. We've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood. Period. That's what it is. We've all, at some point or another, been inappropriately touched in Hollywood.
I knew some things about some people, and I knew some bodies were buried, and I wasn't gonna speak on it. And all I was saying is we've all, if you're in this business, we've all at some point been inappropriately touched.
Remember that day we had that show, when me and Ludacris had that show in Chicago. The promoter had some girl.
Chingy is exposing the alleged dark side of fame and the lengths to which some stars are pushed in the industry. So, what exactly did he say? Apparently, McCrary is currently going through what Chingy faced years ago. For context, a decade ago, Chingy was one of the biggest names in rap. His singles were everywhere. Rider and One Call Away were absolute bangers. Chingy even said, "I think that was a brilliant record," along with the English. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say Chinglish, and the terminology of the lyrics and addressing how I appreciate women made it what it is. And it's still a hit record to this day. I was in Miami recently at a club on the Strip and they were playing techno and R&B music, but nobody was dancing until they played right there. They didn't know I was in there, but I thought it was so interesting because they played all types of music and nobody was dancing. But then, amidst a storm of rumors and management issues, he stepped back from the rap game. When he came back, he was a changed man with a mission to use his music for a deeper message. Born Howard Bailey Jr. on March 9th in 1980 in the Walnut Park area of St. Louis, Missouri, Chingy's early life was far from glamorous. He grew up in a rough neighborhood known as the Bad Blocks, surrounded by armed gangs and drugs. Raised by his grandmother, along with 4 siblings and nearly a dozen relatives, Chingy's passion for music began to shine through at a young age.
I come from the ghetto just like everybody else. I come from the inner city hood just like everybody else. I come from poverty just like every other young little...
By the age of 8, he was writing lyrics, and by 10, he was recording his raps. His parents' separation led to constant moving, but his love for music remained a constant. In the early 90s, he and his childhood friend Justin formed a rap group called Lethal Substance of Dope, LSET, performing at local talent shows and getting positive feedback. Chingy attended McClure North High School, juggling his studies with a job at Burger King and his rap career. At 12, he had a brush with the law when he stole a car and ended up in juvenile detention. This experience made him vow to stay away from illegal activities. As a teenager, he rebranded himself as H. Thugsy and continued rapping with Justin. Their group, now called Without Warning, gained local fame with their hit What's Poppin' Off.
Growing up hustling and in the streets, and you know, so of course that was in me as well. And but I always had a dream, I always had a goal.
Adopting the name Chingy, slang for money, he and his group signed with 49 Productions. But financial struggles led to the group disbanding. Chingy once said, "To me, my career started before signing the contract because I've been doing music since the late 80s. I was already putting out local music, traveling, doing shows, and just trying to build up the momentum to make it. But when I got signed to Disturbing the Peace, I knew my career was blossoming, yet I still had more work to do. My first single was a #1 record on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart, so I guess that was for all the time I spent trying to get in the business. It was finally paying off, and I was thankful for that." In 1999, Chingy graduated from high school, became a father, and worked various jobs to support his family while continuing to rap. He formed a new group, 3 Strikes, with 2 other rappers catching the attention of Nelly, who invited them to open for his tours. But internal conflicts led to their split in 2001. Chingy's solo career began thanks to T-Love, the manager of Saint Lunatics, who connected him with the production duo Track Stars. Chingy's charisma made him stand out, leading to a production deal with Track Stars. In 2002, Chaka Zulu, CEO of Disturbing the Peace DTP, heard Chingy's track Right There and loved it. The single was released on May 10, 2003, and quickly shot to #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Chingy's debut album, Jackpot, dropped on July 15, 2003, featuring hits like Holiday Inn and One Call Away. It sold 2.8 million copies in the US and went double platinum, making Chingy a household name. In February 2004, DTP organized a tour to promote Ludacris's album Chicken and Beer, but Chingy noticed issues with management and earnings. He sought legal advice to sever ties with DTP and Ebony Sun Entertainment, feeling stifled and wanting more control over his career. He then created Slot-A-Lot Records.
It wasn't a better way to set up 3 records. Going from right there. Now, what I will always credit myself My first record was just
Under his new label and Capitol Records, Chingy released Balla Baby, the lead single from his second album, Power Ballin'. On November 1st, 2004, the album went platinum, featuring collaborations with R. Kelly, Janet Jackson, and Lil Wayne. One track, I Do, even made it onto the Need for Speed Underground 2 Inches soundtrack. Chingy also made TV appearances on shows like My Wife and Kids, George Lopez, and Punky, and appeared in the 2006 film Scary Movie 4. But 2006 brought legal trouble when Ronald Gavin of 49 Productions sued Chingy for breaching an exclusive contract. Chingy's third album, Hoodstar, dropped on September 19, 2006, with the single Pulling Me Back hitting #1 on the R&B charts. However, the follow-up single Dim Jeans didn't perform well, and the album went gold with 500,000 sales. After splitting from Capitol Records, Chingy returned to DTP under Def Jam Recordings, releasing Hate It or Love It on December 18, 2007. Despite features from top artists like Amory and Ludacris, the album flopped, selling only 30,000 copies in the first week and peaking at number 84 on the charts. This marked a low point in Chingy's career.
me. No features. It's
Yep.
just me.
Yep.
That'll tell you a lot about how I get down with my music.
Disappointed, Chingy left DTP again, focusing on acting and rebranding Slaughter-Lot Records to Full Deck Music Group. He stepped away from rap, but rumors about his personal life, particularly relationships with transgender individuals, began to surface. Chingy blamed these rumors, especially those involving model Sydney Starr, for damaging his career.
Met Chingy at a show. I was a backup dancer at a show in Chicago. It was back.
In 2010, Sydney Starr, a transgender woman, claimed she had a romantic relationship with Chingy. She used a photo taken with him at a concert to fuel the rumors. Chingy denied the relationship, but the allegations spread quickly, causing significant backlash. The incident began innocuously enough when a female fan in Chicago, Sydney Starr, approached Chingy for a photo after one of his shows. Unbeknownst to him, the seemingly ordinary encounter would later be manipulated to kickstart Sydney's career. She used the photo as supposed evidence of an relationship with Chingy and portrayed herself as the one romantically linked to the rapper. The ensuing narrative, fueled by the transgender angle, gained significant traction. In an industry known for its homophobia and transphobia, the allegations cast doubt on Chingy's S, prompting fans to scrutinize his personal life.
Really young, and I really can say that I did make a few mistakes at that time, and I was thirsty for fame. I will admit to that, but at that time, I had people tell me.
Chingy experienced a rapid and harsh backlash. Despite achieving great success with his double platinum debut album, Jackpot, and collaborating with top artists such as Ludacris and Snoop Dogg, his fortunes quickly turned. Chingy found himself without the backing of a major label, a distribution deal, or support from the industry. Chingy told HNAH in 2017, "I watched people in the industry who were cool turn their backs. I feel like my career was sabotaged." In an interview with Vlad TV, Chingy blamed not only Starr, but people who believed and spread the rumor. It goes to show you that that person who nobody knew had that much power to come out and say one negative thing about me, and a whole mass of people just instantly took to it, and they didn't have not one piece of evidence. He said, "I lost a deal cause of that. It was sad to me because it was so much bad publicity around it. I've never been through a sabotage situation like that, and it was so fabricated and false." Chingy clarified that he and Sydney Starr were not involved in an intimate relationship. He recounted encountering her during a Ludacris concert in Chicago where she was performing as a backup dancer. Chingy described her attire, mentioning that she was wearing body paint while on stage with other women for promotional purposes.